continue to track a summer-like warm-up for our game day today. We'll have temperatures all the way to those mid to upper 80s, so very important to stay hydrated and really bring out more of that summer wear for the weekend. We'll see those conditions in place through at least our Sunday, and that's also leading to continued fire danger here. We have seen fires across mid-Missouri in recent days, and that is going to likely continue, or at least we'll have those same conditions for that into the weekend. We can see that in our humidity. Most of the area very early in the morning is already seeing our humidity below 50%, and this will drop throughout the day as our temperatures continue to increase. That is combined with our very high wind gusts today, which again is leading to those fire conditions. So very important to stay away from any burning. Even if you're not in this red flag warning, we will see those wind gusts and very dry conditions. So especially near the lake and I-44, definitely do not burn anything here, but we'll definitely want to stay away from that again for all of Mid-Mo as we're dealing with those dry conditions. And as we're heading out to any other activities here across Mid-Mo, definitely grab that summer wear here. You'll want lighter layers, just short sleeves by the afternoon, and you'll need to stay hydrated as temperatures quickly make their way into the 80s. If you're heading out even to that parade in the morning, you likely won't want those extra layers. We're already to the 70s by mid-morning and 80s by noon. That's not the end of it though, as we'll have that full afternoon of sunshine to get through. We'll probably even make it to those mid-80s here. So again, just really need to take care of yourself as we're even more summer-like for the weekend ahead. That's thanks to those southerly winds. We'll see those gusting to about 30 plus miles per hour throughout the day. It's a bit of relief from that. We'll have a nice cooling breeze, but that is just going to be over very dry mid-Mo. So again, that's why you really need to stay away from burning over the weekend. We'll see the exact same conditions in place tomorrow, but the southerly winds will begin to really push in some more moisture, so we should see our fire conditions coming down by the end of the weekend tomorrow, even as we'll just continue to see those steady winds out of the south. That does even last into Monday. You'll notice we'll finally get a wind shift though in the later parts of the day. That's as I am tracking a cold front in by late Monday here. It has slowed down just a bit, but it's looking by the time we get through about Wednesday at this point, Mid-Mo rounding out to 2 or more inches of rainfall, and even more of that in store next weekend. We desperately need these more soaking chances for rain on the way, as we are in a 100% drought across the state, but not going to see that really for the weekend ahead. That's why we have those summer-like conditions in place, and you'll notice that moisture starting to return to the area by about our late Sunday here. Just very light precip chances on this model. That's likely not going to materialize as we're still very dry by the end of the weekend. It's likely that we won't get enough moisture until our cold front arrives, and you'll notice that late Monday here, just by about the early afternoon off to the west, we could catch some activity out ahead of that earlier in the day, but that bulk of rainfall is looking to aim for the overnight hours into Tuesday. And then depending on if this pattern stays together here, you'll notice a bit of a more resurgence of some storms to our south. This is as low pressure will track along that boundary, and just depending on where we see that play out, we could end up possibly in the heavier side of this rainfall, but also if it falls apart, may just dodge some of that as well. We'll continue to track that as for sure in the earlier parts of the week, but I also mentioned even another chance for this, thankfully showing up by the late parts here into next week. This is much needed rain across mid-Missouri as the entire state is under a drought, and like I mentioned, we will likely end up near or above 2 inches of rainfall throughout the week here. Not as much as we'll need for sure with this drought across the state, as we even have some of that extreme drought in mid-Missouri, but definitely looking forward to that rainfall as we haven't had much of that in recent weeks. This is really our most soaking rain we've had all month so far, so we'll definitely need that umbrella next week, and we're seeing that return us to seasonal conditions. We definitely have those more pleasant conditions in store for our homecoming, so definitely head out and enjoy that almost summer-like weather this weekend.